Hey, welcome back. This is my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Relaxed Azata Let's Play. Honestly, I just wanted to jump right back into things because I felt I had quite a good groove going. So let's go and rescue the Hellknights. I think that's our #1 priority. We might need to rest. Yeah, we'll do a rest before we get there. And now we finally bought a Why can't we brew potions? Why is Woljif the only one that's able to brew potions and not us? That doesn't make much sense to me, if I'm honest. What is that? It says squad member. Maybe it has to be squad members then. What? I'm very confused by this. I thought that's what we needed to actually... Is it because we bought ones that are too high level? Or do you need a specific perk to do it or something? Well, that's a bit disappointing. I don't really think that's worth it. Ember, you can do that. I guess you need a specific ability to do it then. That's a bit annoying. Assign character, increase the number of ingredients gathered at resource stashes to do so. That's not how I thought it worked, if I'm being honest. Woljif is too good at camouflage it. We've got the gear. Let's just leave it how it is for now. We have Albrig and Lan. Do that. And I guess we'll just keep Nest cooking. We'll just do the hearty meal again. I don't really know what that's... I guess you need a specific feat or something to scribe scrolls then, but that... I'm not sure how I feel about that. It kind of feels even more limiting than having to...
from Brother Woljif. If you're flogging a fake treasure map, take care that all the islands are where they ought to be. Or if you add some of your own devising, at least give them normal sounding names. Lands of Woljif the Great isn't a good name, it turns out.
Yeah, that's a bit suspicious, Woljif, if you're trying to sell a map and your own names on it. I guess that, yeah. Oh well. Let's go in here and rescue the Hellknights.
This war must
Let's do some buffing.
Doubt is the heart's
Natural
greatest
armor yet,
challenge.
Lan? Yeah, like an hour now, so that's fine.
Rules
When things start lasting an hour, you can just do it at the beginning and then not have to worry about it
Tail is
anymore.
restless.
which is always nice. Shield will only last about 4 minutes, won't it? Yeah, put that there. Actually, put that. We can replace that with charge. And then level 2 spells. Yep, we've got mirror image there. So I'll just do one because you've got so many. And activate your mutagen as well, because that should last 20 minutes now, which should be more than enough. At least to get going with. Right, let's go. Commander, come here quickly. From the mountain you see a raided camp and 2 groups of warriors, one wearing white and yellow armour, the other in black. They are led by a tall man in white priest robes. Some of the warriors glance around fretfully, their weapons shaking in their hands. You hear the screams of gargoyles from above. The beasts are approaching the camp.
Quickly, evacuate the wounded. The beasts are about to strike again. Use cloaks as stretchers. We've got to make it through. Paralictor, your people will have to cover us while...
2 more minutes left out in the open, and neither you nor I will have any troops left to order about, Crusader.
There's Regill.
But the wounded...
Problem solved. Retreat to shelter.
The one called Paralictor makes a barely noticeable gesture, and the swords of his troops execute the wounded. If the man in white has anything further to add, his words are drowned out by the shrieks of gargoyles as they fall from the sky. The Paralector will lead the unit to shelter. We need to get through to them. So Regill is a no-nonsense kind of guy, I guess. Looks like the Hellknights continue to fight the gargoyle even from the air. They both fell from the rocks and perished. Oh.
Can we retreat already?
Hello. Let's do a full attack.
Why not both? Can't you just die already?
Ember, you do... Oh, heroism lasts 10 minutes per level. We should definitely be adding that to people then. Because heroism's great. Give it to Ulbrig first. Heroism gives you a +2 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. Lan, take an extra shot.
Endure this.
Perfect. Nest, do a enchant your weapon, and then do a gargoyle's immune to electricity. So much in this game is immune to electricity, but so it makes sense to use it on things that isn't. Oh, amazing. Ruined it. No problem there.
Careful now.
While I remember, let's add heroism to other people. Give it to Wooljiff as well. And give it to everyone, really. Give it to Lan. And give it to yourself. I just want to see, does Bless contradict with heroism? No, it looks like they stack. If 2 buffs kind of negate each other, the game gives you a little exclamation point.
That's easy.
Which is handy. You can end up using a lot of buffs in this game, so if you know what's a waste and what isn't. Do a magic missile. Lan. Oh, we've got unlimited movement, haven't we? Lan, move up. Nest, do a touch of Instrument of Freedom. And then Ulbrig, yeah, just move up. Try and draw their fire. And Darren, you can do a prayer. And Ember, do glitter dust there.
Yes.
Perfect.
Make every strike count.
Put Cat's Grace on yourself, Nest. And then Darren, you can come up and put Bull Strength on Ulbrig. Increases damage. And then Ember, do a Scorching Ray.
Distract them for me.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Great. Oh,
Something wrong?
yeah, we put the Dexterity mutagen on them. That's fine. Make our way down. Bastard sword. There's Yanka. The sight before you is at once macabre and picturesque. A lifeless couple, a man and a woman dressed in white yellow's priest robes, lie on the ground surrounded by the bodies of dead gargoyles. They are tangled in death. The claws of the monsters are tearing at the human's clothes, and the largest gargoyle's talon has pierced the man's chest and punctured his heart. But before they died, he or his companion defeated the enemy. Samurai Sword Priest. Suddenly, the woman opens her eyes. She doesn't look at you, but stares up at the world wound's horrific sky. Her pale lips open and she exhales abruptly. The sun will never rise again. There's only darkness above me. Even the sky here is cursed, and we along with it. Yanka, walking in the front, steps over the man's body without looking, but turns around at the sound of the woman's voice. The Mendevian faithful break too easily. Darren. Oh, if all Mendevian devotees broke easily, I would be much happier. Unfortunately, most of them have good health, unconquerable will, and a never-ending desire to moralize. Darren is jeering, but looks at the wounded woman with hesitation. He shrugs. She is not just wounded. I can see the signs of severe exhaustion. I wonder what happened here. Ember. All people are easily broken. The knights in pale armour help each other through the horror, but the knights in black only break each other, and everyone around them. Yeah, we'll heal the woman. You need help. You'll feel better now. The woman pushes you away with a weak gesture. Expend your efforts on someone who can be helped. Leave me. My crusade is over. Who are you? What happened here? I am a priestess of ardent Serena from the Order of the Samurai Sword. Next to me is Asher Stranger, the head of our order. Sorrowful pride sounds in the woman's voice. He has led our voices on raids to the world wound many times, but this campaign, the gargoyles attacked a few nights ago, and a vast number. We've never seen anything like it. Asher's organised our resistance with great skill, but while the monsters were distracting our fighters, a small group of them raided the camp and took our supplies. We were left without food and water in the middle of the world wound, where it's nearly impossible to find provisions. We shared the last crumbs of our supplies and set off back the way we came. Everyone was suffering from hunger and thirst. We grew weak and could barely fight back when the gargoyles struck a second time. They snatched many of us away. I saw the pain on Asher's face when he counted the losses, but he managed to rally us. We continued our trek and soon came across traces of a recent battle. Someone had destroyed a troop of demon worshippers. In our desperation, we decided to follow the strangers to warn them of the gargoyles and seek their help, having no idea that they were Hellknights. But we received only scorn. Every gulp of water in my unit is accounted for, they said. They spared us 2 flasks and a sack of dried bread. They said we were allowed to keep the sack to use as bandages. 2 flasks between us all. A sack for bandages. Wooljeff. Don't expect any goodness from those black tin cans. If you meet them, count yourself lucky if you don't end up nailed to the nearest fence post. Lan. A leader has to take care of their own tribe first. All the scandalized gasps. How could he do such a thing? Suddenly fall away when you're first faced with the hard choice. Are you going to take food out of your own child's mouth to feed a starving stranger? Life can be cruel. In times of war or famine, folk are sometimes forced to make ugly choices like that. Because if they don't, it'll cause even more death. But there's this one thing I've noticed. Ulbrich glances at Jaeger. Some chieftains love making decisions like that, and if they do it, they drink and blame themselves, even though they know they did the right thing. Other ones, however, are all too happy to make them. They even boast about it afterward. Look at me and my heart of stone and my head of iron. What happened after that? The gargoyles attacked. Despite how the Hell Knight Paralictor treated us, Ashes endeavoured to help them, and had us carry their wounded. But that monster had them slaughtered. Ashes was beside himself. It's difficult to conceive of such evil. He told our people to go with the Hellknights to find shelter while he stayed to cover our retreat. The woman exhaled softly. He was a strong cleric, but as he treated our wounded, he neglected himself, and he paid for it. Your commander can't be helped, but you're still alive. Allow me to help you and come with us. The woman looks at you wistfully. Why? So many deaths, so many sacrifices, such bravery, all for what? No, I will not go with you, stranger. My commander and I will die by what we lived for, compassion and nobility. I don't want to keep fighting for a world that bows to such laws. May the goddess forgive me. Farewell. The woman closes her eyes, exhausted. I'm sorry these good people treated you this way. If you don't have the strength to go any further, rest. We will continue your crusade, I promise you. Yanka shakes his head. Commander, I'm not one to advise you, but you're wasting time on this fool. The gargoyles will be back soon. We'll soon be back. That's their usual tactic. Fly up, regroup, attack again. I'm going back to my unit now, and I advise you not to stay here long either. He's certainly acting like a Hell Knight in that regard.
Precisely.
You can handle this, right?
Got some more gargoyles. As you still, activate your weapon enchantment again.
Cover me.
Oh, amazing. They ran right up to Wooljeff, which is not the smartest move of theirs.
Time to share your treasures.
Prayer's still active, isn't it? Oh no, it doesn't look like it is anymore. Is it? Just do prayer again anyway, because it debuffs the enemies as well. Land, do an extra attack and do a precise strike.
Won't survive me.
Oh, there's loads of them. You going again, Lan? I'm complaining.
Endure this.
Ulbrich, kill this one. Thank you. Ember, you can... let's do a Scorching Arc. Oh, actually, let's just do a Scorching Ray on the nearest one. And then Nest, you can do a... just do a Touch of Fatigue attack on the Cleric.
Cover me, all right?
Kill him, if you can. Great. Darren, do... over here slightly. And then do protection from alignment evil.
Make every strike count.
Focus on the ones close by. And then Albrig, come over and help Nest out. And Ember, you do a Scorching Ray. And yeah, do True Strike and an attack. Warjiff hitting them with a magic missile. Looks like it missed. Oh no, it didn't break the spell resistance. That's more annoying.
Out of my sight. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Good, good. Lots to loot around here. Be sure to get it all. Warjiff, come pick this lock.
This is my kind of work.
Always watch your back.
Even after the attack, the tents the Hellknight camp are lined up. The tents at the Hellknight camp are lined up neatly, looking like they're ready for a parade. I just realised as well that Darren actually has another buff that I hadn't noticed yet. Be good to apply them. Give them to Albrig. Dark skin improves your natural armor. That's a good defense. Give it to Warjiff as well. It would be nice if there was a way to automate all the buffs you want to do at once. Like if you're out of combat, you can just apply them all in one click. Because especially as the game goes on, you get so many buffs, so you just have these windows of sitting around applying them all at once.
Knight Commander, I presume. Your glory precedes you. I am Regill de Reg, Herelictor of the Order of the God Claw, and temporary officer of the joint unit of Hellknights and the Order of the Sunrise Sword. You and your people should take positions. The gargoyles are regrouping. We expect they will attempt to break through in 5 to 6 minutes.
The moment you step across the threshold, you're targeted with pale yellow eyes. A gnome with considerable grey in his hair, dressed in black armour, lowers his head slightly.
A paralictor indeed. Impressive.
Are you in command of this unit? Oh, no? Then step aside and let me discuss the matter with the commander.
The gnome interrupts Darren confidently.
Would you look at their get-up? Head to toe in black. You can tell right away that lot means business. How can they move in all that armor, I wonder? Those spikes must catch on everything, eh? And answering the call of nature, that'd put the fear in you. One slip and you've gelded yourself.
He does not acknowledge Albrig's wit with so much as a glance. A joint unit.
Forcibly joined. The leader of the Order of the Sunrise Sword was unable to get to safety, which is not surprising, considering his, shall we say, excessive scrupulousness and sluggishness. Given the extreme situation, I took command of his people.
I really like Regill's voice actor. I mean, we're not going to be using him in this campaign because he's lawful evil and we're chaotic good, so he's basically the polar opposite of what what our vibe is. But I definitely like having him.
Just great. Paladins and Hellknights all in the one troop.
It's like catching the plague and the pox at the same time.
It's supposed to be good when different people unite. We're here for a common cause. But it still gives me the creeps for some reason. Hellknights shouldn't be allowed to get their claws into our paladins. It's wrong.
I saw you ordered your own wounded to be finished off.
Indeed. The gargoyles were clearly trying to capture as many prisoners as they could. I don't know the reason behind these abductions, but I'm not about to give the enemy what they want. That is why all my people were ordered not to be taken alive. And as for the wounded, we didn't have time to get them to safety anyway.
Only someone who's never been responsible for the lives of others could feel any outrage at this decision. The wounded couldn't be saved. What good would it do to anyone if the rest perished along with them?
What charming people. Those fellows in black make Holrun look like a sweet old soul by comparison.
Did you really just give 2 flasks of water to the Knights of the Samurai Sword suffering from thirst, and a sack to use as bandages? Yanka, standing behind his commander, rolls his eyes.
I spared them the exact volume of resources I could sacrifice without risking my own people. However, the situation has developed, and I've already ordered they be given additional supplies. They are temporarily under my charge, and I can use their forces to rebuff the attack. They'll work for their water.
Regill raises his voice and speaks emphatically, ignoring a whisper coming from the group of Knights of the Samurai Sword. He seems to be reiterating his position for their benefit. Sometimes you must act first and deal with the consequences later. Sacrifice nothing and you will gain nothing.
Noble Ashes and his Sunrise Swords have already done so. This is what it led to.
That's right. The chief is responsible for his own tribe. If he decides that he's responsible for the whole world, his own people will come to ruin. And if he wishes that someone else was responsible for his people, that means he's not fit to be chief.
Lan, you and Nest are going to fall out if you keep up this attitude. Regill's harsh words cause a whisper among the knights in white and yellow. You won't get away with this.
We can discuss our differences as soon as the gargoyle problem has been resolved. Speaking of which, here they are.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
Woljif, do a... Have you still got mirror image? Yeah. Put a shield on Nest. Darren, you can reapply prayer. Oh, it works for everybody as well. Oh, that's great. I think now's a good time to use Shocking Grasp. Oh, we'll reapply our weapon enchantment, and yep, use Shocking Grasp. Lan, help these guys out. Do a swift attack, precise strike.
You won't survive me.
Try and kill one. Nope, not quite. There you go, we finished the job for you. Ember, you do a... do Evil Eye on this guy. Yeah, Ulbrig, just attack him.
Stab you or zap you?
Why not both?
Come on, Warjiff. Oh, come on. Yanka can take a hit. He's just got hit a bunch. I guess it's because he might be meant to survive, so maybe that's why he can last so long. Do protection from alignment, Darren. And Nest, you can attack this one. Wonderful. How have I burnt through all of those in one? Have I been criticaling? Is that why? Okay. Doesn't matter. Oh, Yanka. You're brave, I'll give you that. Lan, take a shot at these ones coming in through the door.
Endure this!
Great. Ember, you can... you can do a scorching ray.
Distract them from me.
Yeah, Darren, just shoot this guy. And hit him with an Instrument of Freedom Nest. Great. Oh god, there's loads of them. Yeah, go for these guys, Lan, and do an extra attack.
Make every strike count.
Great. And Ember, you can do a Burning Arc, because it will hit 2 of them. Oh, it's terrible. The ice cream truck's outside. Don't know if you can hear that, but... yeah, go over here.
Time to share your treasures.
Darren, you can just take a shot, I guess.
Precision and grace.
Darren will be much more useful when we get his dual wielding and his pet.
Your death awaits.
Oh, he died. Land, take another shot at these guys. Oh, double kill. Nice. Just do a Scorching Ray, Ember. Try and finish the job. Ulbrig. Is there more? I hope not. Okay, that's the end. Oh, there was more. I guess we were just slightly out of range for it to count for us. Oh, well, they finished the job fine. Oh, where's Regill? There he is. Regill gracefully stows his weapon and places his hands behind his back. You two, check the area. Mark any potential shelters that offer protection against aerial attacks. Quartermaster, inventory the remnants of the camp. I want to make sure that the gargoyles only abducted people and weren't interested in anything else. Send messages immediately to our scout squads and order them to return to camp. And I need a full list of casualties. The sooner the better. He turns to you and nods slightly. Commander, your arrival was well timed. Now we can finally talk. I'm quite interested in the events that occurred at the Grey Garrison, and I suppose you have questions for me as well. What do you want to know about what happened at the Grey Garrison? Any shift in the balance of power during this war has a direct impact on my mission. If a new player appears who is capable of fighting demons effectively, then I'm ready to support that person with all the resources I have at my disposal. Regill speaks pensively as if talking to himself. But naturally, I cannot blindly trust a stranger, even one marked by the gods. You have every right to doubt. I usually don't trust strangers either. So we understand each other. Thank you, Commander. Regill nods more to himself than to you. Is there anything you would like to know before we move on to more serious issues? I don't really want to join the Hellknights, so I'm not going to ask that. What are the Hellknights doing here within the borders of the Worldwound? The same as you and your army, fighting a war against the demons. The Hellknights have always been part of the crusade from the very beginning. We don't answer to Queen Galfrey, and we act on our own authority. But we serve a common cause. Discari's spawn has no place in the world we want to build. Regill barks out the final words. Darren. Funny, isn't it? Knights clad in black armor have been fighting this war from the off, but most people don't even know it. The face of the Crusades is a Mendevian paladin with the sword of Iomedae gleaming on their gilded armor. In that respect, my cousin Galfrey has a real flair for propaganda, I must say. What does Paralicta mean? I am the commander of this unit, and in the Order's hierarchy, I am 2 steps lower than its leader. In the territory of Mendev and the Worldwound, there are few who equal my rank. I am the most senior Hellknight officer for many leagues around. First the Queen, now this Paralicta. There's a whole lot of foreign taskmasters in our lands these days. Wherever you go in Sarkoris, there's always someone dishing out orders. Judging by your tattoos, you're one of the few Sarkorians who survived. If these are your lands, what's stopping you from taking charge yourselves? Perhaps it is high time you woke up from your dreams of a beautiful green Sarkoris and admitted that these lands haven't been yours for 100 years now. We're not done talking about your atrocities. Of course. The Paralicta doesn't seem hurt or surprised. If you wish, I will explain my position in detail. All the soldiers killed at my order belong to my unit. Therefore, the case is an internal matter for the Order of the Godclaw. You could have sent an appeal to the Order. Have sent an appeal to the Order commanders, but the result is inevitable. Not only do the Order's rule and field operatives guidelines not prohibit it, they even recommend a policy of death is preferable to captivity. So everything that happened, though it is surely lamentable and has deprived me of a few good fighters, is also a prime example of military necessity. We could just attack him now. Your rules are an abomination. Of course, you have the right to personal opinions and relations. If the incident is settled, I suppose we can return to relevant matters. What are you going to do now after the gargoyle attack? I will wait for my remaining fighters to return. What you see here is only a small part of my forces. As for my long-term plans, that depends on the results of our conversation, Commander. Regill narrows his eyes. Before we move on to serious matters, I'd like to address an organizational issue regarding my unit. You may wish to be present. Yanka steps forward and salutes with a clenched fist to his chest. Paralictor, permission to report. During the first gargoyle attack, I determined it necessary to leave my post. I swam over the river, ran to the commander's army and asked them to provide assistance. Regill nods. The reinforcements were much needed. You will earn a double salary for your resourcefulness, Yanka, and 100 lashes for abandoning your post. The young knight grows a little pale, but immediately salutes again. Yes, Paralictor. I wonder if it's foolish and overly harsh to punish Yanka for leaving his post when he did it to bring help. It would be foolish and harsh, but entirely lawful to execute him for desertion. Regill peers at Yanka with his pale yellow eyes. Did you know the location of the commander's squad, knight? No, Paralictor. I assumed I might meet friendly troops on the other side of the river, but I couldn't know for sure. You see, Commander. Of course, I could be gracious and look the other way, but what would that mean during the next battle? 10 or 20 of my people will think it's high time they ran to get help. Initiative requires reasonable limits. Not to mention, 100 lashes is hardly a punishment for a true Hellknight. I say it's more of a spiritual warm-up. Yanka gives you a serious look. Thanks for your concern, Commander, but I do not wish to evade fair punishment. I wouldn't be a Hellknight if I did. Darren. The Paralictor, the epitome of ruthlessness. The young knight singly devoted to his ideals. So far, so dull. Or is it? Could it be that our Sir Yanka holds a tendre for his commander? I heard that sort of thing is rampant in the military. What a relief it is to know that such tawdriness could never afflict our valiant crusaders. Darren smirks. Isn't that right, Nest? You're not about to foist yourself on some poor lovesick fool who is unlucky enough to be under your command, while knowing his love is doomed to be unrequited. A fool whose love is doomed to be unrequited? Well, you can't be referring to yourself. Of course not. You may have doomed me to languish in this army, but unfortunately I am not in love with you. Although... Darren pauses and casts an appraising eye your way, as though seriously considering the prospect. No, still nothing. I'm not in love with you. Lan. Are these guys made of stone or what? They seem creepy, but I kinda like them. Ember. Everything is so strange. They march in columns through the thicket, even though there's a regular smooth road nearby. Woolgif, don't even try to figure out how their minds work. You'll make yourself crazy. Although I suppose it's a little late for you. Regill, who has watched you closely throughout the entire conversation, nods to himself. Now, for a more delicate issue, you, Commander, were interested in our dispute with the Knights of the Order of the Sunrise Sword, correct? Their forces in Canabra suffered great losses in the demon attack, and now their leader has perished and his troops are in trouble. They are reeling with no command structure. Their order will hardly be able to recover from the losses they've suffered. What are you getting at? These fighters aren't the finest material I've worked with, but if I assume formal command over them, I'll be able to reforge them into weapons of reasonable quality. One or two might even become true Hellknights. The rest will be put to good use as well. Do you really think these people will follow you after how you've treated them? Though not the best, they are still warriors and knights. They know what discipline is, and that victory in war doesn't come without cost. Any among them who still haven't realized that aren't worth my time and effort. What does this have to do with me? A spark flashes in Regill's pale yellow eyes. I suppose, Commander, that for leagues around, from Canabras to Dresden, and from Dresden to the cursed city of Iz at the heart of the world wound, all of this pertains to you in one way or another. You are the catalyst that shifted an age-old balance of power. whether you meant to or not. Your own future, and much more, depends on the decisions you make here and now, even the ones that seem insignificant. No one but them has the right to decide their fate. Talk to them directly and get your answer. Regill looks at the warriors in white and yellow, shifting cheerlessly from one foot to another. Initiates of the Sunrise Sword, your leader is dead. The Order has suffered serious losses and will not be able to recover. You may return to Mendev to join another Crusade Order, and hope that they don't meet the same fate as the Sunrise Sword. Or you may remain under my command. I will not promise that it will be easy, or that our war-making will be constricted by your principles. What I can promise is this. Under my command, you will never again feel like helpless mice in the talons of a ravenous raptor. Samurai Sword, Priestess. Does that mean we've worked off the precious resources you spent on us? The water, medicine, bandages? Yells one of the knights in white and yellow armor. I wouldn't make such an offer if I thought you were useless garbage. The initiates of the Samurai Sword consult each other for a time, and then one of them, a young woman in knight's armor, steps forward. Thank you for your trust, Paralictor. We will stay, and we are ready to obey your orders. Fine. In due course, I will review your troops and make any necessary decisions regarding your role in my unit. Regill turns to you. And now, Commander, for the most important issue. Cooperation between our forces. We do have a common enemy and a common battlefield. Perception check passed. You're looking at me strangely, Paralictor. When we discussed Yanka's punishment, and when we were deciding the fate of the Samurai Sword, it's as if you're testing me. Regill lowers his head in a gesture that might be read as respectful. I do not believe I have made any attempt to conceal my interest in you, both as a new, strong leader in the region and as a bearer of a highly unusual power. Of course, I'd like to know what's inside your head. One could say it's my duty. My army and I are going to Dresden to free the city from demons. You can join forces with us. Regill rubs his chin pensively. Dresden? An ambitious goal, but most reasonable. Imagine how such a victory would rally all the separate bands of today's Crusaders under one banner. And we certainly need a base of operations inside the Worldwound. I stand ready to support you. Moreover, I can accompany you in your campaign. However, I would remind you that Hellknights are outside of Mendev's jurisdiction. My unit and I will join your forces and obey your orders, but only for as long as I deem that our goals coincide. Ember. I like his eyes. They're still bright. Neither the darkness nor the paleness has taken them, for now. Lan. I've never dealt with Hellknights before, but from what I've seen, they're serious fighters. That's just what we need. And just think how that armor will look in the paintings they'll make about our battles. It's a deal. Yes, Commander. My forces and Regill Deranger are at your disposal. Regill Derange are at your disposal. You can just go back to camp though, Regill. I'm going to keep this party as is. There's still a little bit to look around here, so we will, let's try and do this mobility check.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Careful.
Yes, well done. Oh, a Samurai Sword Crusader. We're still alive. Praise be to Serena. Sarenrae. The pronunciations are so weird with this. The skeleton of a man wearing armor from the time of the First Crusade. It's holding the skeleton of a child with strange proportions and animal paws instead of its right leg and arm. Sounds like a mongrel.
That's easy.
Are you going to do anything, Samurai Sword Crusader? No, you're just hiding out here. Okay. Right, my cat has joined me. Hello, Georgie. How you doing? She's probably hungry, so she wants me to finish up so I can feed her. Right, sweetheart. Yeah. There's a law nature check here, we'll have a go. Demonic energy has polluted the earth, creating tumours filled with poison. Can't neglect a bit of loot. There's probably some reason why I didn't pick it up, isn't there? But oh, that doesn't seem like it. Yeah, let's get out of here. Hurry up, Albrig. Why is he going so slowly? There you go. So Regill's a new party member that we get in Act 2. A Hellknight gnome. I think next we're going to head up towards the Chilly Creek. Oh, we might as well actually see what the primitive altar's about. Oh, and we have Hellknights now. I think Hellknights are slightly better than those guards there. We can move the reinforcements up as well, so they can meet with the main army. More archers is always good, as is more warriors. What does it look like if we... We'll try out this army. We just don't have many clerics to use, so I feel like 20 light cavalry is better. Scorching Ray won't do anything against these guys because they're immune to fire, but they can potentially kill off the cultists. Well, these guys don't do a ton of damage, do they? They're very mobile, though. Yeah, try and kill some of them. And the Hellknights, you have a pop at them. Hit them. Do another Scorching Ray, try and kill off these cultists. That's alright. Yeah, hit them. We're doing fine. You finish them off. Cavalry, come over here. And you finish off the cultists. No trouble. I think I prefer this setup to having the shield bearers and the clerics. I don't think they're that good. Clerics can be useful against undead armies. After the battle, one of the soldiers noticed a half-effaced inscription on a nearby stone. What remained of the engraving led the Crusaders to a secluded cave where they found a stash of miscellaneous relics and some selflessly devoted clerics. Some selflessly devoted clerics had managed to rescue from fallen Dresden. They also discovered flasks of sanctified oil and boxes of regents for rituals and sacred masses. Sacred masses. It would appear the brave priests hid their sacred artifacts in one final attempt to save them from the demonic threat. That is fine. It should be, yeah, let's merge the paladins together. And we'll merge the dwarves. So this is like our... I'm not going to get a new general yet. We don't really need 2 armies on the go, but this is a level 7 army, so that's a bit scarier for now. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there, seeing as we've done done a fairly significant side mission with that. And we can go and investigate the primitive altar next time. And then we'll go up and look at Chili Creek as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to follow this series, subscribe. I'll be posting daily. And leave a like and a comment if you're feeling generous. But, cheers. See ya.